name's Jamie Mackay, and today we are going to go over scales. I'm going to show you the major scale, I'm going to show you the minor scale, and I am going to show you pentatonic scale. And those are three key scales to learn on the guitar. So, start with the major scale. We'll do it in A. There's our A major chord. What we're going to do is we're going to first, each finger is going to occupy a fret. So our first finger is going to go on the 4th fret, cover the 4th fret. Our second finger is covering the 5th fret, where our root note is. Third finger is covering the 6th fret. Fourth finger is covering the 7th fret. So this is going to be our major scale. So it sounds like this. So how we'll play that is you want to take your second finger and we're going to go on the 5th fret of the E string. Our 4th finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the E string. So that's the B. So A, B. Our first finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the A string, and that's our C sharp. Our second finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the A string, which is our D. Our pinky is going to play the 7th fret of the A string, which is our E. And then our first finger is going to play the 4th fret on the D string, which is our F sharp. Our third finger on the D string is going to go on the 6th fret to play the G sharp. And then we will resolve on the scale with our 4th finger on the 7th fret of the D string, making our A. So far we have. And to continue that, from our pinky, we go to the 1st fret on the G string with our first finger, so that is a B. We go to the 6th fret with our 3rd finger, which is a C sharp. Going to go to the 7th fret on the G with our 4th finger, it's a D. And then with our second finger, we're going to go on the 5th fret of the B string, so that is our E. And then with our 4th finger on the B string, we're going to play our E note. Our F sharp. And then we are going to, with our first finger, play the 4th fret of the E string. So that's a G sharp. And then with our second finger, we're going to resolve the scale with our second finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Taking it back to A. So altogether, it should go like this. And then back down again. So that's our A major scale. So now I'm going to show you the minor scale. That's a minor chord. So same idea, except we are going to occupy 5 frets on this one for one extra note, one cheeky note. So we'll put our first finger on the 5th fret, second finger on the 6th fret, third finger on the 7th fret, fourth finger on the 8th fret. What we're going to do is our first finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the E string, so that's our A. Third finger on the 7th fret of the E string, so B. Fourth finger on the 8th fret of the E string, which is our C. First finger on the 5th fret of the D string, A string, that's our D. D note on the A string. Third finger on the 7th fret of the A string, which is our E. Our fourth finger is going to play the 8th fret on the A string, which is our F. And then our first finger is going to play the 5th fret on the D string, which is a G. and then we're going to resolve it with our third finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Bring us back to A. So far we have, and if we want to continue from this A on the 7th on the D string, we're going to go from that with our third finger to the 4th fret with our first finger on the G string. So that's a B. Our second finger on the 5th fret of the G string, which is our C. Our 4th finger goes on the 7th fret of the G string, which is a D. And then our first finger is going to go to the 5th fret of the B string, which is an E. And then we're going to play, put our second finger on the 6th fret of the B string, which is our F. Our 4th finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the B string, which is a G. And then we're going to resolve that with our first finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Which brings us back to A. So all together, that sounds like this. Okay, so that's our minor scale. And lastly, I'm going to go over the pentatonic scale. So this is a very bluesy scale, which sounds better over the minor, but you can get away with it in major. But this is whereas the other scales have 8 notes, including the octave, this one has 6. So the major and minor have 7, and the pentatonic only has 5 notes. So you're actually taking away. It's a lot easier, and it's a lot more fun to play around with, and a lot more accessible. So we're really just following what we've done on the minor scale there, and missing out some notes. That is basically just the minor scale with less notes. So first finger, same place, 5th fret of the E string. That's our A. We're going to go with our 4th finger on the 8th fret of the E string. That's our C. First finger on the 5th fret of the A string, which is our D. Third finger on the 7th fret of the A string. That's our E. First finger on the 5th fret of the D string. It's a G. Third finger again on the 7th fret of the D string. That's our A. That's our resolved. We're next going to go to, with our first finger, go on the 5th fret of the G string. That's a C. Third finger goes on the 7th fret of the G string. That is a D. And then first finger on the 5th fret of the B string. That's our E. 4th finger on the 8th fret of the B string. That's our G. First finger on the 5th fret of the E string. That's our A. That's us resolved. And we could go further and put our 4th finger on the 8th fret of the E string, giving us a C. So all together it sounds like this. Another extension of that scale, if you wanted to go further, so you've gotten to this point, is you're going to slide up to the 10th fret on the E string. So that's our D note with our 4th finger, and then our second finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the E string. So that's our C. Our pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the B string. That's our A. Our second finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the B string. That's a G. Next we're going to put our third finger on the 9th fret of the G string. That's an E. Our first finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the G string. That's a D. Our pinky is going to go on the 10th fret of the D string. It's a C. Our first finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the D string. That's our A. Pinky goes on the 10th fret of the A string. That's our G. First finger goes on the 7th fret of the A string. That's our E. pinky again goes on the 10th fret of the E string, so D. Second finger is going to go on the 8th fret of the E string, which again is a C. And then we resolve back with our first finger where we all started, where it all began, 5th fret of the E string on the 8th. So that bit together would sound like this. And all together it could sound like this. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jim Mackay. Have a lovely day and keep playing music. Thank you.